Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Bloodborne How To. In this video, I'm going to be taking down Darkbeast Paarl, that guy over there. Now, you come across this guy in the Hypergent jail area of Yahagul. So, there's a lot to take in for this boss, so I'm going to do my best to explain most of it before we actually start the encounter. Right, first things first, as you can see, he's covered in electricity, and as such, his attacks deal bolt damage. Now, obviously, to offset this, you want armor that has good bolt resistance. Now, there's two main sets that are good for this fight. I'm wearing one of them, which is the Yarnum Hunter set, which you can buy from the Bath Messenger for like 3,000 souls, I think it is. It's available from the beginning of the game, so it's worth picking up for this fight. The other good set is Henrik's set, which you can get from doing Eileen the Crow's quest line up until the point where you kill Henrik. Now, both of them sets have really high bolt resistance, so it's good for this fight. The boss himself, obviously, dealing bolt damage, is also resistant to it. So, bolt paper, tinnitus, stuff like that's no good for this fight. He's also resistant to blunt damage, so if you're using the Kirk hammer, then try and stay away from the transformed state. He does, however, have some weaknesses. He's a little bit weak to fire, but his main weakness is arcane damage. So if you've got a way of dealing arcane damage reliably, then it'll make this fight a lot easier. So as you can see, I've got the Augur spell. I've also got the Blade of Mercy, which has an arcane attack modifier. Or if you've got the Empty Phantasm Shell, you can also use that to buff your weapon with arcane damage, and you'll get good use out of these. The only other thing worth mentioning is, well, I've said it before, when it comes to large bosses, the lock-on isn't good, but this boss really epitomises that, in the regard that he's really big, but he attacks so quickly and erratically. If you're locked on, your camera will just go haywire, and it'll be really difficult to track him. So we're not going to use lock-on for this fight. However, having said that, even though he is large, he's also quite gangly. Like, there's not a lot to him, so it's difficult to aim small weapons at him, like when you're underneath him. Now, the way to deal with that effectively is if you've got a weapon that can deal damage in an area, then that's the easiest way of getting reliable damage on him. Now, you can see I've got the flame sprayer there, but also like the Hunter's Axe, the charged R2, the Saw Cleaver when it's extended, the Threaded Cane when it's extended. Anything that's got like a good range of motion during its attack is like a lot more likely to score damage on him. So we're actually in the fight now, and I'll go over his attacks more or less as they come out. Now, to start with, he's got two attacks that he uses when you're too far away from him. He's used one of them there, where it's kind of like a lunge forward with just one swipe. The other one that he uses when you're really far away is he'll do like a jumping attack, and he'll slam down with one fist. Now, both of these attacks serve the same purpose, and it's just for the boss to close distance on you when you're too far away. It's easy enough to dodge either of them though. You can roll in any direction and you'll be safe. Now, the boss will try and chase you down and use that combo that he's just done there, where he goes like right, left, overhead. That's his main attack that he'll spam over and over. Now, as you can see, I got hit by it there when I tried to roll to the side. The single best way of dealing with this attack is rolling straight through, like I've just done there. Because you can roll through the first attack and then you're underneath them and the other two will miss you. Now, I got hit by a big blast there, and that's the other attack that's worth mentioning. He does this when you're underneath him for too long, and as you can see, he's charging it up again there. Now, I did manage to get away from that one, but as you can see, the blast radius is quite big. You'll need to roll 3 times to get away from it. But you've got a reasonably large window of opportunity to get away from it once you see it coming. So as long as you're on the ball, it's easy enough to avoid it. The problem arises that we're rolling through his combo, so we're ending up underneath him a lot, which means you are going to have to deal with the charged attack a lot. Now, I've mentioned before the benefits of staggering bosses where possible, and for this boss it's doubly worth doing. Like, each of his limbs has its own like health pool, and once you damage it, then obviously you'll get the stagger on the boss, and it gives you a window to get some more free damage on. But with this boss, as you can see, he's covered in lightning, and obviously his attacks deal physical and bolt damage. Whenever you stun him, he'll lose the lightning aura, so any attacks that he does are only physical, so you'll take less damage. But on top of that, he'll also look for an opportunity to back off and reapply the lightning to himself. So that's another opportunity to get more free damage in. So it's really worth trying to get a stagger on the boss, but you need to do enough damage quickly. Now I think I get one here, yeah, using the auger spell. And as you can see here, he's got no lightning on him. So in the next 5 or 10 seconds or so, he'll look for an opportunity to reapply it to himself. There we go. It's worth mentioning that even when he's like reapplying the lightning aura to himself, if you do enough damage to him then, you can stagger him out of that. So it is possible to keep the boss at a point where he doesn't have the lightning aura applied to him. Now, I'm using Molotovs here because I'm getting low on Quicksilver bullets, which is obviously the flaw in the strategy I've went for this, given that the Flame Sprayer and my Auger Spell are both Quicksilver bullet users. So I was trying to get some more damage in here using the Molotovs, but I didn't really pull it off. The problem is while Molotovs are a good option, if you hit him in the head, it's quite likely to stagger him. The problem is because he chases you down so much, you don't really have time to throw one, especially if you then have to break lock on straight afterwards, and you've probably already seen. But I threw a Molotov and I then accidentally threw it the wrong way because I brought lock on too early. So that's one of the problems with this fight. Things that you need to aim, you don't really have time to do. But again, if you do have the skill necessary to throw Molotovs at him and hit him in the head consistently, then it's a very good strategy for this boss. Now, I realise this isn't the cleanest kill in the world, but we do manage to get the kill here. But it's more about just showing you the various tips and tricks you can do to help deal with this boss, because he's quite difficult in the regard that you can get to them relatively early in the game, but I wouldn't advise taking him on if you're underleveled, because he's a pain in the arse anyway. Never mind when his attacks can more or less one-shot you. But he is something of like a skill check for this point of the game. He's like probably the first boss that you'll actually struggle with for a while. So I've had more or less no luck with the Molotovs for this actual kill. And as you can see, I'm kind of on tilt here. I'm not like playing as well as I could be. And this has a tendency to happen when you feel like you're getting overwhelmed. But as you can see here, I do a lot of damage in this particular burst with the Flame Sprayer. And that's mainly because I could hit both of his front arms and his head at the same time. So the Flame Sprayer does a lot of damage if you can use it effectively. Like you saw at the beginning of the fight though, when I was only hitting one limb with it for a couple of seconds, it wasn't doing a lot of damage. Now I'm out of Quicksilver bullets here, which is where my strategy starts to fall apart. And I realise I can create blood bullets, but I'm that low on vials, I kind of thought it's not worth it. So you can see I'm trying to use the Blade of Mercy here, but it's proven a bit difficult because the weapon's so small and the area to hit his leg isn't very big. But I do manage to get the kill here because when he tried to apply the lightning there, I took advantage of the window. And as you can see, I've done a lot of damage quickly there, and that's entirely down to the fact that my weapon has an arcane modifier. So there we go, there's the kill, guys. I realise it's not the cleanest one out there, but the strategy's still pretty solid. So hopefully you can take something away from this video and get a cleaner kill than I have. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope this video helps, and stay tuned for more Bloodborne how to.